I always said, if we ever did something together, oh man, it would be awesome.
It'd be out of control.
And John would be billing us out of jail.
Yeah.
Next thing I did was work the auto show circuit as a narrator. The girls that stand on the hamster wheel with the car. And they're like, this is the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I did that.
My sister said, he left the music cutting and he came back as John Lennon.
I offered the producers of PBR.
She had come from sit position, bit him in the balls, went back to sit position, and I blinked and I hardly saw it and looked at her and she was just sitting there like
a ninja.
And I turned around and I said, "You just missed 10 grand." He goes, "Why?" And I said, "Because that was me being a dick."
8G hit and it hit so freaking hard. I'm like, maybe I should have landed in the grass. I can hear you laugh from here, not through the screen, but from.
And I left there feeling like a bag of dicks.
No, did she just say a bag of dicks?
Yes, she did.
Like, let's say I want to get one of those Speed Marine hats. Where do I go to get it?
Oh, dude. Plug it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're not supposed to stop. You're supposed to act like it's normal. We integrate.
No, I always forget that part.
When they started asking, who here can drive a 6-shift? This is 30 or 40 extras. None of them could. We had to test a couple of my mechanics as terrorists and put them in the cars to.
Tell the story again about the panties and the dog. And
I'll let you tell it.
If you're not hustling, you're sleeping.
How'd you pull that off, Jack?
Well,
You got some kind of magic wand or just a big wand?
Hey-o.
Man, we could talk for weeks about this stuff.
This
This is literally the most professional podcast I've ever done.
Good evening, Lou Santiago here with another fantastic installment of Three Lefts Don't Make a Right. Today, we're going to have Tim McCarthy. For you guys who don't know, Tim owns a little company named HushMat. They specialize in sound deadening. They try to make your car, well, they do make your car, actually. They make your car so it's nice and quiet on the inside so loud guys like me can be heard. That's why. That's what you want to have. So that's what we're gonna talk to Tim about, because he knows about sound deadening. And we're also going to talk about a little company that he started called ZyCoat. I have no idea what ZyCoat is, but we're going to find out. So we're going to do a commercial. We're going to come back with John. Me and John are going to talk about what's going on in the world, and then we're bringing in Tim from HushMat. Hit it, Ken.
Ever wonder what happened to your favorite Hollywood stars? Some are screen legends.
Carla.
Some made history.
What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what?
One thing's for sure, they all have more to tell. Road trip with me, Lou Santiago, as I hunt down these iconic cars.
The car's actually stolen. My kids said, "Dad, you're not going to believe what's over here."
And take you behind the scenes to get the story behind the story.
I'm going to have the car do the same thing. Oh, bang, wow.
From the designers who built them, the stars that drove them, and the lucky motherfuckers who stumbled across them. Where was his car when you found it? Pull in there. Dude, tell me you have your hands on it. You're not going to believe some of this stuff.
Dude!
What?
So what's happening?
No.
My camera's not adjusted. I moved my camera around. I'm trying to get it squared away because I'm having trouble getting comfortable right now. So I gotta.
You in pain?
No, it's just I sat too much today. I can only sit for so long, and I'm trying to push that time out. So yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just you got to get comfortable.
Are you jogging yet?
No, that ship has sailed, man.
What?
That ship has sailed. No more running. I'm not allowed. They don't want me to
at
run
all
anymore.
ever.
Only if I'm running from the cops.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Got to draw a line somewhere.
And even then, I need my Puerto Rican fence climbers just in case. Pointy shoes.
Yeah. That's old school. They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't do that no more.
You got to return back home and see what the trends are.
Yeah. But sometimes you got to stick with the old stuff. It works.
That's it. You got to bring it back. It all comes back, especially if
exactly.
you got three pair in your closet. You got to keep it real.
So my nephew, who's 40, Tari's 40. So he actually lived with us for a year. He did his senior year of high school here because he was playing basketball for this Catholic school. So he was going to throw out this Fila shirt. It says Fila across the front. It's blue with white letters. No big deal.
Yeah.
And he was going to throw it. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, I'm throwing it. I'm like, no. Give it here. That shirt went out of style, back in style. Now it's back out, and I still wear it. Damn shirt's like 26 years old.
It's great getting old, isn't it? It's great getting old.
Now it's got holes in it where I burned it from welding with it. No,
that's the look, though. Yeah, the abused look, the worn look. I said, I got a pair of jeans. They're all tore up. And somebody said something to me. I said, these weren't like this when I bought them like 20 years ago. They thought I bought them that way. I'm like, nah. Knees all hanging out of it. Whatever.
Dude, I gotta say something. This is I was watching YouTube.
Yeah.
And these people have lost their damn minds with this whole Supreme Court leak. It's amazing how hard they're trying to cause problems, because they keep saying that abortions are going to be legal when it's not. They're kicking it down to the states, which is the way it used to be.
Yeah. And realistically, that's the way the government should be. It should be less federal, and each state does what they want. If you like what you're doing in Tennessee, you move to Tennessee.
Right.
That's the way it should be, because there's different flavors, different people. We're not all the same. It's not one size fits all. I don't know. I was watching the news. I turned it on for a little bit, and they're trying to beat up the cops. They're breaking windows.
Yeah.
You could see that Antifa's involved again. And I just sit there and go, seriously, this is America now. This is the new norm. This is how they resolve things through violence and craziness. And I can see if you protest, you do your thing, your voice is heard, but people are just taking it way on everything, not just
way
this.
too far.
They're losing their minds.
Yeah.
They're going out of their way to be goofy. And that's the new normal, is to be weird.
Well, you know what it is? When you have it so good, you look for reasons to screw shit up.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's the bottom line. Because I promise you, most of these people that are protesting have never done anything with their life. They're probably highly educated. They've never been anywhere. They don't know about the world. They think they do, but they don't know about the world.
Yeah. I was at a political event last night. I was invited to Steve Finelli, who's running for Congress here in my district. So they invited me out. And there was a girl there from Kenya. And we were talking about the difference. And she said exactly what you're saying about people creating their own problems. And she's looking at me like, you don't know how good people have it here. I said, I know. I'm not one of those people that do that. And she says, and she said the same thing. People, if they have it so good, they're creating the issue because they don't have anything to worry about or get aggravated over. And like I said, was it last week before? I truly believe that your phone is part of the problem because it's tailoring your life to what you like, what you want. And it makes you think the whole world looks like that because it's not giving you a second opinion. It's not designed that way. Everything is a preference, a favorite. It's built for you. So your world on here, and people got their nose pressed up against their phones. They think that's the world. And if you say something different than what they've seen in the past 2 weeks, you're the problem. And you don't understand. My phone's telling me something different. It's tailored towards my opinion, my likes, my views, what I, touch. It's your news is not the news anymore. It's your news. No. Well, it's not a general news information.
And to that point, I found it really strange how Obama was talking about when Elon bought Twitter, Obama's talking about that they need to have more control, basically more censorship is what he wants.
Yes.
And then 6 days later, the administration comes up with what I like calling it the Ministry of Truth. I like that name. The Ministry of Truth.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
They come up with that. But not only that, I read somewhere that also Britain is coming out with some new laws about censorship, and so is basically the rest of the Canada and the EU's looking at it now too. So they're all in cahoots.
Yeah, that's all.
Nobody's saying a word until Elon goes, yeah, I'm going to buy Twitter. Now it's like, oh, censorship. Oh, like, dude, wait a minute. What? Yeah, it's amazing how these people are desperate for something to go sideways. But I'm going to tell you, man, some of these people need to look out what they need. They really need to be careful and think about what they're asking for.
Yeah, I know, because they think it doesn't include them because there's only opposing points of view right now. And later on, it's going to be everybody. We won't be able to come on here and say some of the things that we say. They flagged a couple of our shows, I think, because of the things we've said.
Yeah.
And they didn't pull it, but they restricted it.
Yeah.
So,
it's because we don't harp on it.
Yeah.
We talk about it, then we move on. You know?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Buster Hartford, NMCB1 alumni. The Bone.
You and I were talking a couple days ago. You got Hotchkiss to come on as a sponsor, right?
Yes.
Tell people what that's about.
Okay, so here's the deal. John Hotchkiss moved his company from California to here 6 years ago, to Mooresville,
Charlotte?
North Carolina. He's in Mooresville, North Carolina. And the place is growing. He's really picking up speed. And we went to lunch yesterday, us two and his marketing lady, Jennifer. We went, and they've got an open house on the 21st. So while you're hanging out with Rick Ross, drinking champagne, Bel Air, I should say, when you're drinking Bel Air, I'll be here having a beer. So I'll be there.
Working on my tan.
Yeah, you don't want to be the whitest guy there. I understand.
No.
So we got to talking, and we were talking about three lefts.
Yeah.
And I said, John, we're looking for sponsors, man, and I can talk about your show. We can drop a little commercial like we've done for other people, and we can make it happen.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you thinking? And I said, well, let's make it easy, 2,500, and then we'll go from there. And he goes, what's that get me? I said, I'll give you 6 months. But I said, but you don't have to worry about that, because once it's in, we're not going to pull it down when you stop paying.
No,
it's going to stay.
Yeah. Plus, it's integrated into the show.
And that was it. And I told him it's integrated, so you can and you can direct people to it. And I also told him that I gave him some other ideas about just selling parts and doing more DIY stuff, doing videos. So I'm trying to work another angle into.
Well, you can also run and put those videos up on your page, all your social on top of that.
That's the whole plan.
Plus, there's somewhere on Facebook, and Brad would know where to put, an ad or ads. So off to the right-hand side, there's ads on your Facebook because it's one of those pages. So that'll work. But yeah, John was on the show. What was it, a month ago?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. So he's a good dude. He's got a good product.
Oh yeah.
So
he's got a damn good product. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They make control arms for that fire chicken behind you.
Yeah. That's Burt Reynolds going to Barrett Jackson there. That's the Burt Reynolds last. It was titled in his name. I don't know if he really owns it or not. But whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's all good. But yeah, what I was thinking too with Steve Finelli, guy running for Congress, I think it's the 12th is the primaries. If he wins, maybe we bring him on and try to pick his brain as to what he thinks he's going to do to make a difference.
Yeah.
We'll give him 25 questions and try to beat him up and go, play the bad guy, play the good guy, and really rock him, sock him.
Mm-hmm.
He's new. He said to me, Chrissy Houlihan is on her third term. And he said,
already?
He said, did you know if this would be her third, if she wins, she gets $175 or $79 a year for the rest of her life.
Yep.
And she's probably in her 50s.
Yep. Yeah.
So he said he's for term limits, which I agree. We got to talking about that. And he said what he wanted to propose, which made sense. I want to hit on this and then we'll move on. But he said the way that you approach that, because the guys in Congress now will not vote term limits on themselves. You have to grandfather them in. So anybody voted in after them is term limits.
Yeah.
Just like the helmet law in hockey. You know, when they said when you were an old school guy, you didn't have to wear it, but the new guys had to wear it until the old guys left the game.
And who was the last guy left to wear a helmet?
I don't know. You tell me.
McTavish.
Lou Santiago?
McTavish.
And it made sense because he said they won't vote for it otherwise. And I said, you're right. It's exactly right. So it makes sense. We'll have more.
And the thing, you think about it, it's going to help you get rid of what we have now. I mean, both sides, you've got people in their 70s and 80s. There's a couple of congressmen and senators that are in their 80s. They need to go.
Well, if they're going to do that, if it's 3 terms and you got your pension for the rest of your life, they need to change that too for the new Congress, because that's too easy. You get 3 because 3 is about where you should be out, not paid for the rest of your life. Because if you did that, then you'd have a boatload of senior people that are retired from Congress and drive those. You times that by 10, instead of the same guy being on there for 15 years, you'd have 5 other people that you're paying.
Yeah.
The same,
to do nothing.
Plus benefits.
Look, man, that's
the best game in town. You can't get a real job like that.
Congress. That's why you need to run for Congress or the Senate, John. Just do it.
Lou, I've said more stuff on here. They'd bring this up. They'd go, this podcast would be on their ads going, you don't want this guy. Look what he did. He's drinking whiskey. Look at this. I'd rough it. One guy, they said, posted something 8 years ago about Nazis. And they said they were trying to fry him on a post that he put on social media 8 or 10 years ago.
But see, here's the thing. They want you to apologize. I'm not going to apologize, and neither are you.
Yeah, but you got to get past the primary. And that's where the party won't support you if they think that it's shaky. And he said that. It's political even before it becomes politics, where he's the front runner.
It's not that you got to get past the primaries. They want to know who's paying you. That's what they want to know, who you're in bed with. That's what they want. They want to know that.
Yeah, I was expecting him to say, donations for tonight, anybody, money, money, money. And he flat out said right at the beginning, he goes, I don't want your money. And he says, I don't want your money because there's no sense in you giving it to me 2 weeks before the primary. If I lose, you're out your money. He said, give it to the winner. And he says, and most people won't say that. I'm like, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
Because he goes, most politicians I know that I'm running with, he says, give it to me. Just give it to me now. Knowing that there's a chance they're not going to make it. I think there's 3 guys on the ballot for the primary. So anyhow.
I'm telling you, we need to do it, man. We need to do it. We need to do it.
We got to, either way, we support him, get behind him. Nice guy. Started a business, was successful, sold it. It's a pretty good story. He's not, he's not the senator's son.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, like Brendan right now, nobody cared when Biden gave the eulogy for Duke. Was it Duke? Was it Bird? Yeah. 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 So and let me dude, I'm going to tell you guys, if you go on YouTube and just type in Jim Crow Joe, the stuff he said on the Senate floor is crazy. And he's the president now.
Biden's not what he used to be.
I know he's not. But I'm serious. If you go online and just type in Jim Crow Joe and look for some of the older videos, there's some black and white ones that are just off the chain crazy.
Reminds me, do you want to play the Morgan Freeman commercial?
Yes.
We got we had the guys, Ken, the producer behind us. I'll tell the story real quick. He was hitting me up, John, I got an idea. So what is he sent me a script. Morgan Freeman reads this. It's like Shawshank, but he talks about 3 lefts don't make a right. And I'm reading it. And I'm like, and I said, usually they have a call to action. Since you're advertising on Spotify with something like this, you usually say, click here and you can check out the podcast. So we were talking, Ken couldn't take it like a kid at Christmas. You saw, he just blasted it out and said, here it is. It's done. You know,
that's awesome.
So
well, look. We're going to go. Let's go to commercial right now.
Play that.
Ken play the commercial and we'll bring back, and when we come back, we'll get Tim's reaction to it. That's what we'll do. Hit it, Ken.
Tee it up. He's slow.
He's teeing it up now. He's slow.
He's in the bathroom. Ken walked away. He's in the bathroom.
He's old. One of these days we'll get there.
Yeah, maybe he'll come back. He probably fell asleep. You know.
I tell you, those two guys laugh louder and harder than anybody in a studio dares to laugh. It's like some beautiful podcast comes into our drab little automotive world and makes the time dissolve away. And for the briefest of moments, every last listener of Three Lefts Don't Make a Right feels free. Remember those 6 little words, 3 lefts don't make a right, right here on Spotify.
There's Tim.
He's smiling. We're good. I thought he would have bailed on us.
No, he's got plenty of ammunition for tonight because I went full retard, man. I went full retard.
You can't even say that anymore. You can't say that.
If Kurt Lazarus can say it, why can't I? Okay? Right. You know, Kurt Lazarus said you never go full retard, so you just don't do it. And I did. Tim actually thought that I said that the podcast was at 6:30 this morning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes a difference.
was ready.
Tim, you're driving now, right? Your wife's driving.
I am.
We had her on for a second. You're in the passenger side, right? You're not talking to us and driving.
I'm in the passenger seat.
Okay.
Yep, we're all good.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So what's
that
happening,
makes a
Tim?
difference. If you thought it was at 6:30 and it's 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, that does make a difference. Where are you headed, Tim?
We're heading up to Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. We got a family connection that passed away that we're going to a funeral tomorrow. So not a great trip, but one you got to make.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Yeah.
How long of a drive is that from you?
3 hours.
Oh,
not
bad. That's not
bad. No.
Yeah.
No. This time of the year.
Yeah, that's not bad. When we
January could be a different animal.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'd have to miss it. Love you, but I ain't coming.
I have to fly.
Oh, you got it. So Lou, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm really good. I'm
is
hanging out.
Strengthening every day.
My back is phenomenal. It's awesome. I am so glad that I did this. I really am. So I got no complaints about that. Yeah. Next Tuesday, I go see the doctor for my 2-month appointment, and they're gonna give me tell me, set up my physical therapy and all that. But I've been doing stuff already. So
good for you.
Yeah. I just gotta stay somewhat healthy because I don't need this falling apart on me. You know what I mean?
You got it.
And then we'll go from there.
You got it. Keep getting stronger.
Yeah. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna lift weights. I'm just gonna do some cardio. I need to see if I can ride a bicycle because I'd like to get back to riding bicycles. I always enjoyed that. So go from there. Maybe that'd be cool. Get my bike out from.
Right?
Yeah. I got a bike. I got a bike when Tina bought me a bike when I turned 25, I think it was. This bike's been halfway around the world. It got stolen in Rota, Spain, and we found it. I beat the hell out of the guy for taking my bike. I took it to Saudi Arabia for the first party in the sandbox. Bike's been everywhere, man.
Wow. You still got it, Lou?
Yeah, man, I still got it. Yeah.
That thing's an antique.
It's an old Huffy Kmart bike.
Is that the one with the big wheel in the front, the little wheel in the back? Is that the?
No.
I'm
that old, but that would be an apple crate, a lemon peeler, an apple crate, an orange crate. Dude, those Schwinns are worth big money now.
All the old bikes are worth big money.
Big money
old
now.
motocross,
yeah,
they're worth some big cash.
Yeah.
Let's get Tim to talk about how he got started his business.
Well, then you better talk
Let's
to him,
introduce
man.
Tim, tell us about HushMat. Tell us about how you got started. I think the move. What are you doing?
Yeah, you know what? We got started in the late 1980s, early 90s, making the product for Ford, General Motors, Chrysler. I was with a specialty chemical company, and right at that time, Lexus came out with the quiet car commercials.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Ford and GM and Chrysler took very quick notice to acoustics and sound quality inside of automobiles. And they came to us. We were a sealant supplier. And they came to us and said, do you have anything that will do, what the Lexus is doing in your bag of tricks? And we put together butyl rubber and aluminum foil and created the first sound deadening damping material sold to Chrysler and General Motors in the late 80s. So that was the origin of HushMat. We sold the product through was an OEM manufacturer. Basically, it was it was on every General Motors car ever built for about 10 years. It was on 60% of the Chrysler cars. It was on 50% of the Ford cars, and that was our business. And we grew the business and ultimately sold it. And I branched off and took the technology to the aftermarket and branded the product in HushMat and launched the company in 2003. So we're in our 19th year, and we just love the aftermarket. We love the relationships, the people, the passion. It's just an awesome business. Awesome business.
Yeah. That's so
cool. Tim, to be clear, tell me if you agree with this.
We lost him.
We were.
There you go. You're out, Tim.
That's because he's probably going through a spot. He's probably switching towers.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say before he comes back is the difference between a Toyota and a Lexus is the sound deadener.
Right.
Most of those cars are all the same. They make it so it's quieter. There's a little more technology in it, but it's different. You going to text them?
No, I'm gonna send him. No, where'd he go? I was gonna.
Ken brought him down because you must have muted yourself.
I don't know. He's fumbling now. He's.
I think he's not driving. You imagine if we catch a real accident on camera live.
Oh God! Don't say that. We don't need that.
Yeah.
One.
What's he driving? What's he got? A Porsche? What's he running?
I don't know.
You think he can hear us?
Maybe. I know he could see us. Now we got his hand.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell him to go out and come back in?
Tell us a joke, Lou.
I got no jokes, man. I'm not a joke guy. I've never been a joke guy. I'm more of a storyteller. That's what I am. I'm more of a storyteller.
Is he back? It sounds like he's muted.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
He may have hit a button and not know it when he was grabbing his phone. Lisa A says hello. Eric got married. Hopefully he's happy. Sorry we couldn't make it, Eric. Somebody else said something too.
Yeah, we lost him.
Bruce, we're thinking about you next week. I told you that earlier today with your surgery.
Yeah. Bruce has got surgery coming up, so we'll make that. He'll be down for a couple of weeks. We'll get a hold of him when he's a little bit further in recovery. We lost Tim. I think we totally lost. But anyway, so here's what I do with my guys at school.
Yeah, that's what you were telling me.
When they get to the point where they need sound deadening, we get it from Tim, and they basically give us the family discount. So that would be like the Bear car, and that's all the HushMat. And for you guys who don't know, that stuff sticks, man, and it makes the car sound like the door. When you put it in the doors and in the car, it makes it sound like a Cadillac inside. It's so quiet. the doors have that thud. Doom, you know what I mean? So it works really well. And that's what I like about it. Now, and there's others on the market that do the same thing. But, you know, I use HushMat because I remembered Tim from Muscle Car. And that must be his coating that they're doing.
That's the coating. That's the pre. Wanted to talk to him when he comes back.
Oh, there it is.
Post. He actually did a dyno test with that coating with the heat, because the heat gets that protects it up to 1600 degrees. The headers get up. Red hot is 1150, I think it was.
Yeah,
if I remember correctly. And the dyno with the cooler temperatures up at the motor because of that. Can we hear him?
Talk, Tim. Still can't hear him.
Still can't hear him.
Hold on.
He may have hit the mute button. I wonder if he can hear us. Can you hear us, Tim?
I don't think so. Hold on.
He's no reaction, so he probably can't. But anyhow, the dyno test came back, and I wanted to talk to him about the performance, because that means everything when it comes to heat and performance.
Yeah, well, and see, for years, I know a lot of the coatings, you know, Jet Hot and the one in Tennessee, I can't think of it now. That, you know, they always told me that they had trouble with a lot of the stuff because the temperatures were still too high and they hadn't perfected it. They were all working towards it. So, you know, it's just one of those things.
That I'll tell you what, my Tahoe, you know, I drive the Popo Tahoe. It's a police version. And the one thing it probably could use is to pull all the interior out and throw that in it to make the difference, because it's, you know, it's a cheap vehicle, but the thing is a tank.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm telling you, it makes a difference.
It's got extra coolers on everything, oil, transmission, the whole thing. I mean, it's built for, it's a commercial vehicle that you cannot buy brand new. I had to buy the thing used.
Right.
But you get 300,000 miles out of the old, you know, the cop cars. And that's why I got it. Because I'm like, you know, I had the Escalade before this. I got 130,000 miles out of it, and you could feel it. I mean, it was beaten down.
Yeah.
The only difference was the Escalade had a 6.2. This has got a 5.3, and you can feel the difference.
Right.
There's a huge difference in a 5.3 and a 6.2 just in torque and horsepower. But you can't get the police Tahoe with a 6.2, which doesn't even make any sense. They should drop the 6.2 in it. If they did, I'd buy a new one. Or a newer one.
Well, see, what I do is when I'm doing a car, I shoot underneath the underneath with either Gravitex, Line X, you know, something like that, and on the inside too. So it's on both sides of the floor. Then I put the HushMat on top of it in the car, and it makes a huge difference. Tim, how's that? Do you hear me?
No, he can't hear it because we'd hear the road sound. Why don't you call him and tell him to back out and come back in if he hasn't already?
I think he's already done that. I'll call him. Sing, John, sing.
I need my Elvis glasses for that. Hold on. Wise men say. That's the before. What's that? That looks older.
Have you gone all the way out and come back in?
Yes, honey, I have.
Okay.
Mickey Mouse over here.
Yeah, we can't, and you obviously can't hear us. So, all right, cool. I just wanted to see if you went out and came back in. Try it, and we'll go from there. All right, later.
Did he try it? Did he go out?
He was doing that right when I called him.
He probably had a bad connection, because sometimes that happens. And when you're driving, it's all over the place. I'm surprised anybody on a phone can actually keep the connection long enough without it getting all blurry and squirrely.
I mean, he's in Kansas, so there's probably a big chunk of the state that's got a dead spot, I would imagine. It's
the weight. Country. Well, you know, I thought about the weight part of it, the issue, but when you grab a box of it, it feels like the box weighs about 8-10 pounds maybe for enough to do maybe a half or 3/4 of the car. There's a trade-off, but it's worth it. It depends.
What we get for the students is the trunk kit. That's what we get.
What's that?
Trunk, I don't know, but it's a pretty decent sized box. And because let's back up. Let's back up. Yeah. Here's the thing. When when like GM does it and all that, they put strips in strategic locations.
Yeah.
When hot rod guys do it, they cover everything. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing is going to be covered. That's a Volkswagen. See how they did it? Now everything's covered. That takes up way more. Like that's probably two trunk kits right there. Cause I forgot what I think a trunk kit is 50 square feet. I think
that looks like a spray to me. And in the picture it looks tacky. He should address that. He comes back, we get him to talk about it.
Yeah. But that's what we do. Like we did Steve's Mustang. Steve. Oh, there he is. Do you hear us?
Man, I'm back.
Yay!
Don't you love technology?
Just remember, Tim, you got to be 10% smarter than what you're working with.
Oh, all right. I don't know where we left off, but you know what? In 2011, we were looking for liquid product that was, something that would provide deadening. And we came across a product at Spirit Aerospace that was being used as a 2-component on exhaust components for jet aircraft. And it was on carbon fiber, it was on aluminum, and we were like, oh, this is awesome. The problem is it was 2 components. And anybody that's been in a garage knows that trying to mix A and B precisely in a garage environment, that's a tough deal. So we spent 7 years and countless dollars developing this product into a single component. And that is the Zybar product that launched in 2018. And it's revolutionary. It's a product that provides heat dissipation, which means it reduces radiant heat, essentially, lowers underhood temperatures. It is color stable. It is durable. It's hard as a rock. And it's not a ceramic. And anybody that knows ceramic technology, it's like putting glass parts under the hood.
Yeah.
Well, there's no glass parts under the hood. And for obvious reasons. Well, essentially, when you coat a set of headers with ceramic coating, when it cures, it's glass. And we have a product that's rated over 2,100 degree ambient temperature, 1,600 degree surface temperatures, and ceramics start to break down at about 700, which is a normal operating temperature of a header or a manifold. So it's really an exciting product. Guys can do it themselves. They can bring it to a powder coater, and we have a whole series of powder coaters that we're setting up to do coating for people all across the country, from Jacksonville, Florida, to Newport, Virginia, to Kansas City, to Phoenix, Arizona. We've got, professionals set up to coat components for, the auto enthusiasts. So we're excited about it. It's awesome.
That's cool.
Tim,
I remember you told me about it when you were working on it, but we didn't get into it. You know what I mean?
I did, Lou. Yeah. That was during the development times. And man, I'll tell you, there were headaches during that period. But, we came up with a product that really has, it's awesome. We're so excited about this product. So it's, opportunities like this that we get to create awareness and make people aware of it.
Right.
Tim,
So
I'm going to give you
that
something.
means I'm going to have to send you headers.
I'm going to give you something to think about. We got Dale Hale is asking about the cost, which reminds me, give you something to think about later on. You got to answer me now because I know we're putting you on the spot spare the moment, but giving our listeners a discount, maybe a 10% with a code or something, if they watch the show, to be able to call in. But he's asking what the cost is typically on a retail. Where do you get it? And what's it take to do a typical size car?
Yeah, to do a set of, let's just say a set of long tube headers.
Yeah.
It's $150.
Okay.
That's not bad.
In material costs at retail. And that's available at Summit. It's available at Eckler's. It's available at Jegs. And it's available on our website as well.
There you go.
And that's ZyCoat, ZyCoat.com, ZyCoat.com.
Tim, as far as performance on the headers, did you do a dyno test? I didn't see the results, but I saw something mentioned somewhere about that. Can you talk about that?
We
what
did.
The difference is?
we did by preventing the metal from absorbing heat, what's happening is we're increasing flow and reducing back pressure inside the header. So by definition, the physics are creating additional horsepower. And we did all of our testing at Carl Performance up in Ankeny, Iowa, and we ran countless pulls with our coating, and we saw about a 1.2% gain across the board of our coated product versus uncoated or wrapped or ceramic coated headers.
Wow.
So we saw a consistent gain, and that was on a very low horsepower block. It was on a sub 500 crate GM crate block. So there were no adjustments made to it. It was the same ambient temperatures, the same set of headers. We bought several series of the same exact set of headers, and we did all of our testing on that same dyno.
Yeah. So
it was really exciting to see that, because frankly we didn't expect that. We knew about the temperature, we knew about the underhood temperatures, but the impact on horsepower was really something that we learned during the dyno testing.
Right.
Tim, 2 other questions came up. Prep and colors.
Prep is absolutely critical, and it's a great question, and awesome for whoever brought it up. Prep is, you got to media blast the surface, whether it's new or old headers. We've done brand new stainless, and we've done old 1960s Mercedes manifolds. You got to blast the surface with 100 to 120 grit. Aluminum oxide is what we recommend. Garnet sand is a good option, but blast clean immediately. Air, blow them off. Don't use any type of mineral spirits or anything like that to post blast clean. Blow them off and coat them. And it's really that simple. And you're going to spray it with a simple primer gun or a touch-up gun with a 1.0, 1.2 nozzle.
Really?
28 PSI. The product atomizes and flows like water. So that's the prep. And then we really recommend you oven cure it. It is an air cure product, but it takes 5 full days to air cure. And until it sees that initial charge of heat, it still has a softness to it if you air cure it. If you oven cure it 2 hours at 450, bolt it on and go.
So the guy's got to wait till the wife's out of the house, right? Put the thing in the oven. But,
well,
Tim, talk about prep for HushMat too.
Yeah, prep for HushMat is really simple.
Simple.
Wipe off any dust or dirt and then peel and stick. Yeah. We actually use oils on the surface of the metal as an adhesion promoter. You can spray silicone spray on a piece of metal, our stuff will stick to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's no prep. I mean, there really is no prep with HushMat.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. What about colors? Did you answer colors? That question.
I didn't answer the colors. We have 4 colors, and that's bronze satin, which is a really cool, like titanium gold. Depending on the lighting, it has a really cool look. We have midnight black. We have the traditional cast, which is a medium gray, gunmetal gray, and then we have the aluminum color, which is like a brushed aluminum silver look to it.
Right. Are you going to come out with more colors?
Lou, we've tested probably 100, 200 pigments. And the problem with colors is the pigments have to withstand temperature. So
it changes everything.
If you see something in the red family, oranges, yellows, blues, or greens, it can't withstand above 600 degrees temperature.
Got you.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Tim, is there anything you're working on now, a new product, anything that you have in R&D you could share with us, or no?
What we're working on is building. Yeah, well, we're working on things every day. I mean, R&D never stops, right?
Yeah.
But we're really building our network of professional coders. We're really focused on getting the product out into the local market so that people can bring their headers and have them coated.
Right.
And that's really our focus. We do have some things on the bench, but it's way too early to talk about them. Like a clear coat that can withstand temperature.
Oh wow.
That's something that's a ways down the road, but it's on the bench.
Yeah, that's
so I
pretty
can coat my engine block because I used to use clear engine paint when I did my engines. When I would build
Absolutely.
them, I would paint it with clear engine paint.
There you go. That's yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Only you, Lou. Only you.
You got a rat rod or something you want to keep right. Yeah, make it stay the same.
I did it in everything. It didn't matter. I did it in everything. So, one of the guys wanted to know if you can coat the inside. I mean, if you're using a spray gun, I'm sure you could squirt it in there and it'd be okay, right?
You coat. You got to blast the inside too, though, Lou. You got to use.
Oh yeah.
Pretty high pressure and an open nozzle on the end of your media hose. You got to put high pressure media blast through it. Then you can coat it. We do that. So yes, you can coat the inside.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. That's awesome.
Tim, I don't know if you heard me, and I think it was right when you blipped out. But the difference between a Toyota and a Lexus is the sound deadening. Is it not?
Yes.
Would you not agree? Because it is your experience while you're driving it, and your feel, the heat, the temperature. It's a controlled environment compared to a rattle trap that just feels like it's running down the road. So guys that I mean, it does make a difference. You got a sound system that you're spending some money on. You want the thing to sound right, true. You should take the steps to make sure that it's really coming forward and it works.
Yeah.
Same with the performance. It has its benefits.
That's the key. I mean, we hear it every single day. Hey, I was at Joe's upholstery shop. I got back in my car and I drove it, and I was blown away by the performance. We've got guys in the van conversion market, the Sprinters and the Transits and so forth. They get in these vans and they're metal cans, and they treat them with our product. They get in and drive them, and they cannot believe the difference in the reduction of noise inside the van. And people don't realize it until they drive in a car that has it. Then they're going, wow, this is awesome. I mean, it has tremendous impact once they experience the product.
Tim, how does
creating that awareness?
How does the HushMat help with temperature? Not just
temperature. You've got a lot of heat coming through the firewall, the tunnel, especially if you've got a small block or you've got anything that's right up against the firewall. That firewall or your transmission tunnel is going to be 300 degrees.
Yeah.
Our product will insulate that firewall and reduce that temperature it'll take it down to 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Really?
Well, one of my S10s before it got totaled by an old lady, the headliner was coming down. It was all broken up, so I pulled it out, and it's August, and all that's there is the roof. There's no insulation. I took 2 pieces of HushMat, stuck it up there, and the AC would cool the compartment because it worked that good. Like you could tell the difference when I was driving it with nothing, and then putting it in. I could feel the difference on my head. So it does make a big difference. I know that for a fact.
John, it's like asking people, would you live in a house in North Carolina or Tennessee or Texas or Florida that wasn't insulated? Yeah, and they look at you and they're like, no, never. Well, every day you're driving in a car that's not insulated.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it.
Yeah, I had when I was a young dude, I had an 81 Corvette. And I'll tell you, anybody that had late 80s, 70s, those things, your feet, especially the Trans Am, same way. Back in the day, your feet would burn. Your shoes would be melting in the summer driving down the road, especially when you couldn't shut the heater fan totally off unless you disconnected the hoses.
Yeah.
And those guys out there don't know what I'm talking about. You would be smoking. I mean, you accepted it. You would feel your feet were burning.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's what you did. So this thing would knock all that down if you were, rebuilding something and wanted a better ride.
Okay, so I got to say something before you guys go any further. Okay.
What? Yeah.
What kind of car are you in, Tim? What kind of car is it?
Porsche.
I'm in a Mercedes E550.
Okay, so obviously that thing doesn't have HushMat in it. Because we can hear the road noise. Come on. I want that fixed. I want that fixed, and we're going to have you back on, okay? I don't want to hear no more road noise after this.
When you park it, Lou and I are coming and stripping it out. You're paying your respect.
Puerto Rican and Italian know how to strip a car.
20 minutes. We're going to punk you. Ride home. We'll have another podcast and be like,
your wife will love us for it.
It's not like he's in church. He's so quiet. Oh, no.
It is a convertible, Lou.
Oh, there you go. That's why. That's why. That makes a big difference.
You mean to tell me you don't have something to put on that roof? Come on.
Yeah, come on now.
You got black HushMat, no one would know.
You need to come up with some kind of fabric that you can throw in between the headliner and the roof.
Something.
Shut it down. Yeah, but that's because we're quiet in a controlled area. He's running down the road at probably 85 miles an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Yep, exactly, actually.
Your wife wants to get there. She doesn't want to do all this driving. I bet you
don't know how right you are.
Yeah, oh, believe me. Yeah. The only reason why you're not driving.
I'm driving.
Exactly.
David wants to know about rust prevention.
Yeah, rust prevent. Any data regarding rust prevention on the ZyCoat?
Yeah, we've got over with the Zybar product, we've got over 600 consecutive hours of salt spray with no corrosion. So it's like that is huge in terms of corrosion resistance. Huge. Yeah, I believe it's 632 hours was the test that we ran, and there was no corrosion.
Awesome.
Timmy, let me ask you. Let's say that somebody's building a 40-something Ford, doesn't take the time to prep the metal, the floor the correct way. They have the thing 25 years, and I'm doing a worst-case scenario. They used the HushMat years ago. They want to be able to pull it up, take it out, and replace the floors, let's say, or do work to it. Fire and pulling it out. What do you do there? He's smiling. What do you do?
Yeah, I will tell you, it's made to be in that vehicle when it's taken to the junkyard at the end of its life.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
It is, you've got to use a scraper, and the only trick is you can drizzle ethylene glycol on the scraper, and that will release a little bit of the adhesion. But let me tell you, it is still, it's elbow grease, and you've got one hell of a job ahead of you. It's really, it's not made to come out.
Yeah, you got to do your prep work. Once it's in, it's in.
Yeah.
And you've got about 2 or 3 minutes to reposition it.
Yeah. Actually, you have less than that because I just went through that. One of the guys.
I mean, you lay it down 2 or 3 minutes. You can pull it back and reapply it. It's not easy, but you can do it. You can peel it off.
Yeah.
After 2 or 3 minutes, it's there for the life of the car.
Yeah.
So put your wiring on top of the HushMat, and then lay your carpet or your silencer in on top of that.
Yeah.
Don't put the wiring underneath the HushMat. We wouldn't advise that.
Yeah. Because one of the guys at school, he put down a piece, and when he put it down, he started rubbing it to get it so he could straighten it out. And they're like, dude, you're not going to be able to move that. We played hell getting about 6 inches of that thing off. I mean, it wasn't a lot. But man, because the way Jared taught me to do that was peel back some and then put it down, and then as you're going back, you're pulling off the paper, so you know you got it where you want it first. Yeah, that's the way.
Exactly right.
Yeah, and I told him this is how you do it, and he was doing fine, and then for whatever reason, one piece was like, I was like, oh God. I was like, man. So yeah, it was a pain getting it off. It was a pain.
It's never made to come off. I mean, our product is 100% American made. It has been for 30 years.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
It's really something we hang our hat on. You know, there's so many competitive materials that are made offshore. We've stuck to our guns, and we're committed to American manufacturing.
right there. Yep.
Well,
right on.
Well, John, God, it was probably 10 years ago now. My friend Jim, he had an 85 B model Kenworth, and we did the floor in HushMat, and we ran out, and it was, it's Sunday. We're in a truck stop putting down HushMat. Saturday, So we went to a local hot rod shop, and we bought some off-brand stuff, and all of it melted off the damn truck. It literally, we had some on the floor on the Kenworth has a panel that comes out. The seat sits on top of that piece and holds it all together. So we took that piece off and we put it on the bottom, and we put a couple of other pieces on the bottom of this other stuff. It was Russian sound deadening. And I called Tim. I was like, dude, I think I screwed up. And the first thing he says to me is, what's the label? And I tell him, that's Russian. It's regular roof. It's for roofing. It's not going to do any good. And all of it fell off. Yeah, all of it.
Dog shit.
Yeah, it was bad. So of course, the next time Jim was in town, we had more HushMat, and we finished the truck. Yeah.
Albert wants to know, can you use it under the hood? I have. I personally have.
Too. Yep.
What I did, I'll tell you, I got a 62 Lincoln, and where the insulation goes, the pieces that they give you in the kit for the insulation for the factory piece, I took and cut that out, the HushMat out, took a 3M adhesive, stuck the insulation to it so it looked like it was stock. You couldn't see the HushMat, and then laid the HushMat down in that same position, same everything. So you can't tell. The guy taking it apart is going to know, but it's a high-end car, so it's probably never going to come apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it did work. So I'll answer the question for you.
It's made to go under the hood as well.
Yeah, it cuts down engine noise, cuts down the heat, cuts down the vibration. So everything, it makes the car sound like it's more quiet than it actually is.
It makes it sound like a Cadillac.
Well,
it's a Cadillac.
It's a
Lincoln, Cadillac.
That's cool. Firebird.
What was
Look at the paint job on that Firebird behind you. Our product protects.
Tim's going to another tower.
He's going to another bad spot.
We'll be back.
Oh, we lost
there
him.
He goes. Ken has no patience. Booted him out. Say, I'll see you later. It's good stuff, though.
It is.
Yeah.
I have no problems with it. I got to tell you. I've used all of them. And
I was thinking.
I'm still here.
There you go.
I was thinking of buying the 71 C10. Lou and I were talking about doing the power tour, and I'm trying like hell to put everything together. But without air condition and everything else that the C10 doesn't have, that I'd have to figure out. That would be a perfect product, because the C10 that I'm looking at doesn't have anything on the floor. There's no carpet, no rubber mat, no nothing. So I'd have to lay that down and throw a rubber mat over top of it, especially with Lou in the car.
Yep.
Got a pool and a pond. Lou's good for the pool.
Yeah,
exactly.
So, but it is a good.
Those vinyl floors.
Yeah, the vinyl floor mats.
Yep.
Yeah, throw it up underneath.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Underneath. Yeah.
Yep.
And you got to do the whole floor. You got to do the whole floor. And I usually do the toe board,
especially for the thermal side of it.
Yeah. I usually go all the way up to where the toe board meets the firewall, and then up there is all Line-X or whatever I do, and because it's just a pain to get up there with it, So that's what I do, and it seems to work. So I got no complaints with it. It keeps a lot of the heat out, make it happen. We'll be rocking. But yeah. So
before we let them go, does anybody else have any other questions? We had some good questions.
We did.
I was surprised because there's a pretty good engagement on the product, because there are a lot of guys are building their stuff. It's time, because they're going to wheel it out in a month or a couple days here.
Has anyone used rubberized paint for it? I guess it would be considered rubberized. I've used bed liner when I do a car on the inside and underneath, and there's some stuff called Gravitex that Brent, my painter, uses. He likes that because you can tint it, and we put that inside and underneath also. Because I know some of the bed liners are rubberized, and I put that down first and then the HushMat on top of it. Yeah.
Tim, talk about SEMA. You got a booth. You going back? You've been there. What?
You know, this will be our 20th year, John. So yeah, we're right in the heart of Hot Rod Alley, right next to the Hot Rod Industry Alliance booth. We're 23185 is our booth number, right in the heart of the hot rod market. So we're thrilled. We've got some really cool cars that we're going to have in our booth. We've got some exciting new things to show people coming in November, and you know, we're adding every day. We've got 366,000 vehicle-specific kits now, where we're packaging the product specifically for platforms, and we're adding to that every day. Every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Lou and I were talking about, you know, we had a sponsor approach us about doing the podcast from SEMA. And Tim, if we do that, you need to stop. We'll keep in touch with you and tell you what's happening since you're already there. Come over, let's talk. You know, tell people where you're at. Tell everybody about your experience there. I did see the other day that
I'd love to do that. They connected.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw, but Ford announced they're pulling out for SEMA this year, which is a big deal because they're right in the middle there. I mean, they got a big spot right in the center. I don't know why.
You know, there's a lot of buzz. You know, John, there's a lot of buzz about that, but frankly, you know, change is opportunity. You know, you look at what's happened. Chevrolet and General Motors have jumped into that spot already.
Really?
Volkswagen.
Yeah, that's good.
Volkswagen is now going to show for the first time at SEMA.
Wow.
So Ford leaving is creating opportunity for others. And
they'll probably regret trying to come back.
You look at what they're doing, it's somewhat of a rumor right now. I haven't seen it verified, but the word is they pulled out of NADA as well. So they're changing their marketing philosophy a little bit at Ford. For what reason, I have no idea, but SEMA's not the only thing they're pulling out of.
Yeah.
So
one of the guys said that Toyota pulled out too.
No, Toyota. If you look at the map, Toyota took where General Motors used to be.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they're still there.
Okay.
Remind me, Tim, is that the same hall that you're in? You're off to the right? It is, right?
Yeah. Sure, it's Central Hall.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was trying to, spun around a little bit here because I've been drinking this. I'll tell you what I've been drinking. The people want to know. I'm drinking.
Old Smoky.
Got to keep it real.
I'm really active, John, with SEMA too. I'm the chair-elect of the Hot Rod Industry Alliance.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Congrats. How long
yeah, Lou. Yeah. So really active in that committee as well. SEMA's a great organization. Really supports our industry, and looking forward to a great show. Hopefully, the international people get invited back and come across the pond, and we'll have a great show this year.
Yeah, that would make a huge difference. I'm waiting for them to open that up and all this nonsense to be done away with. You know,
that makes three of us.
Yeah. I think most everybody I know is either had COVID, recovered, and was shocked that it wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be. And I think the early people, when they got COVID, were thinking I could die because they were convinced because of the news that there was a 50% chance you were going to kick the bucket. And now that people understand the difference, I'm hoping, because Lou and I didn't go last year. We talked about it. We were going to set it up. Lou had appearances set up, the whole thing. And then at the last minute, we were like, guys reported in saying it wasn't the same because of that. And I think the biggest issue was they were saying you only could have 30 people, I think it was, in your booth at one time. That was the max. You had to have a mask on. You had to show a Vax card or some nonsense. There was a lot of things that a lot of hoops you need to jump through. So hopefully they get it together. And that was the rumor. I didn't follow it. Lou and I were talking, but hopefully they get it together. And I plan on going this year. Lou, you going?
Yeah. I was going to see if Tim wants me in his booth so I can make a couple dollars.
Keep it fair, will you, Tim? Keep it fair. I'll tell you, okay? I'll tell you. You can see Lou's not thinking about me. It's all about him. He's like, hey, that's John. He's already elbowing out of the way.
Hey, look, Tim's a small company. He can only afford one, and I'm cheap, damn it.
All right,
I know you're a maintenance package. You got to find
bologna
someone else
sandwich.
for
I'll
you.
do it for a bologna sandwich.
Bologna sandwich.
Whatever it takes. 220, 221. We'll make it happen. It's all good. But no, I'm going. I'm going to go.
Right on.
I'm going to, have fun, see what we can do there, and make it work. So.
Yeah, that's the deal. I was going to go. I was planning on going.
Say that again.
For our industry, it's the bellwether. It's the bellwether for 2023.
Yeah.
That SEMA show sets the stage for the next year, and that's the way we view it.
Yeah.
Tim, is there any other shows that you do where people can talk to you and ask questions and get into it, or no? Is that the main one?
Yeah, we do. We do PRI in December. We do the NSRA Nationals in Louisville in August.
Yep.
Three shows we attend.
He's in the spot.
There are some satellite shows. Yeah, we do some satellite shows like Back to the 50s up in Minneapolis in June. So yeah, we're out and about.
That's a show I'd like to go to.
And people can call us. I mean, it's a great show.
Tell people where they can find you, social media, website. You were out of Connecticut, is where you're originally from. You moved down to Kansas. No? You're out of Kansas now, right?
Yeah, 30 years ago. 30 years ago I moved there. Yeah, in Kansas City.
Tell people where they can get a hold of you and touch and reach Tim and ask questions.
You know what? Our phone number is really through Friday, 8 to 5. Call 913-599-2600. But our website is HushMat.com, very simple, or ZyCoat.com. And our hashtags are HushMat USA and ZyCoat USA. And we've got a great YouTube lineup as well for instructional videos. And it's youtube.com and HushMat in the number 1. And we've got some really good information out there as well.
Cool. There you go.
But give us a call. We'd love to talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that
Dude,
would be
I call them all the time.
Hey, Lou even texts our office line.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I go full retard.
He's savvy. Lou is savvy. He's still trying to figure that out. Tim, I appreciate
you. Got it.
I called Tim real quick. I called Tim today. I'm like, hey, you got to send pictures for the thumbnail. He's like, I never got I'm like, you got a tag? I'm like, no. A couple. Well, what happened was I don't know what I did, how I got twisted up, but I was sending John Hotchkiss text messages for Tim, and then when I realized it, I forgot to send Tim his.
Oh,
so that's why we didn't have nothing.
I know. You were handing out my email. You had it all screwed up.
See, it's been a mess the last couple days, man. It's been a mess. All right, well, Tim, we're gonna let you start driving, so we're gonna let you go, okay? Because we gave you some time. We gave you 8 minutes more. So
there you go. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate
you. Thanks, Tim. So next week we got Bob Thrash.
Week after? You don't remember?
Week after.
Joe.
Oh, Joe. Oh God, Zeppelo.
Zeppelo from Garage Squad.
Yeah.
Christy Lee's sidekick, Bruno's sidekick, Joe.
Yep. And he's got a bitchin' Superbird.
Yeah.
And he's got a bitchin' Superbird. Yeah. So we're gonna have Joe on after Bob Thrash, and then after that we got nobody. So I'm working on some people, but I haven't gotten anybody.
Tell people who Bob is real quick, so they understand what they're looking at.
Okay, so Bob Thrash, guys. He worked for Rad Rides by Troy for I believe it was 20 years, and he does all kinds. He's always done graphics. He does paint and body. He does fabrication work. He's a well-rounded hot rod builder. and he's worked on serious cars. Yeah, like I believe he's worked on a Sniper when that came out. He's done a bunch of the cars at Rad Rides when Troy was first coming out and making his name. Bob was one of the guys who worked on the cars with them. So he's got a real kick-ass resume. He's got a real kick-ass resume, and he's worked with some big names in the game.
You were telling me that if you approach him and he likes your project, he may come to your house. You got to pay him, of course, to help you put it together and build it and get involved, right?
He's right now he's doing a car for for a guy in Arkansas, and the car started out with Andy Leach, who I need to reach out to. Andy Leach also worked for Rad Rides. He built the chassis, and Bob helped him with a bunch of stuff on that car. It's a 37 pickup cab. And the car the truck bounced around a little bit. And now this guy in Arkansas has it. And this guy reached out to Bob, or Bob knows him. They're connected some way, shape, or form, but he's got Bob over at in his shop in Arkansas doing this truck, I should say. Yeah. So the dude's mad skills. As a matter of fact, just going Thrash Metalworks, I think it is, on Instagram. He's got a
he sent it to me. I can't remember what it is, but you hit in Thrash. You hit in Thrash, it'll pop up.
It should pop up. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now before we go.
He's got mad skills.
Mad skills.
He's got to send pictures in so we can speak to the pictures. Got to get a hold of him.
I told him.
Yeah, I think he did. He did that today. No, or what?
Yeah, it's Thrash Metal. If you just type in Thrash Metal, it'll come up. That's what you got to type up, and then it'll be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys. If you guys have somebody we should have on, let us know. I got a handful of people that I'm looking to bring on, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Got to pull the trigger, man. I'm starting to cold call people.
Well, I think it's June. June we take a break until and kind of tell you. I think it's August.
Yeah,
we take the summer off and then come back. So you got to tell Tim. No, not Tim, but you got to tell Hotchkiss. We're going to get half of them in before the end of this year, before the summer.
Yeah, I'll let them know.
And we should probably have Hotchkiss back on as a support to have him explain, because he had some stories. We didn't even get into it, all of it. He was going on and on and on. He had to, slow him down a little bit.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
But Rick Ross, I'm going to try to get Rick Ross on and talk about his cars probably after his car show, May 21st. We talked about Joe Coddington, maybe having Joe Coddington on. The other one would be Joji Barris, George Barris's daughter.
Yeah.
Talk about George. I saw somebody was painting a mural, or they're selling the building. It's sad to see all that stuff move on.
Yeah.
But it's also cool that we lived in a lifetime where George Barris was alive and saw his work.
Mm-hmm.
Really, that guy was an influencer.
Yeah.
So it is pretty cool. So outside of that, I'll let you know if we're finally doing a power tour.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear back from AMD on the SEMA.
All right. Well, we'll call him.
Hit him up.
He may have sent an email. I know he's got the he's got the 3 lefts don't make a right email, so it might be on there. I'll call him tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'll take care of that tomorrow.
Sounds
make
good.
It happen.
Lou,
all right,
let's let Ken go home.
All right, Ken, go home. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. We had a little bit of hiccup there, but Tim had some stuff going on that he's got to take care of, so we can always have him back on. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next week we have Bob Thrash. And then the week after that, we have Joe Zopler. And it's just going to be cool stuff from here on out. We're going to keep on making the show as best as we can. So until next week, later.